Going for the knife kill. He's gonna get it again. Yes. He gets the knife kill.
Oh my God.
Gerald with the shield.
Wow.
Lamello getting out. And Blasters on a killing spree. Getting right into the action with the Doomfist here. Making one Doom punch.
Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Today we have some ECAC Valorant for you guys. Ball State University versus Keiser University. I'm super excited to get into today. It was supposed to be an Overwatch match against OU, but that got canceled. So instead, we have some Valorant action live, which is second week, not counting spring break, second week in a row. We got some Valorant for you guys, so I'm really excited to get into this.
I'm extremely excited. Tonight we do have that ECAC Valorant action for you. We're hoping for that quick 2-0 to end it all, to keep us going in this roster. I believe we've only got, what, 2-3 weeks left?
It's not meant until playoffs. Yeah, not many more weeks.
Yeah, not much. But for Overwatch, I know it is going to be those double header weeks, and then we've obviously got some League of Legends this Saturday as well. A little bit, or not Saturday. Tomorrow actually is what it got moved to. But yeah, look out for that. Other than that, we've got our rosters as well as the university we are up against, Keiser University, their roster. So we can go ahead and throw to that here shortly. But while we wait for that, I know we can expect some good things from tonight because we did change some names around. We changed up. I know we used to have Fragelton, but that's what it's gonna say on the it's what it's gonna say on the roster. There it is. Oh, it got changed. It's Casimir. Okay, so. We did get that changed. It used to say Fragelton. Now it's Casimir. We've also got Grim, Rebo, Tenjamin, and TN as always. And from Keiser, we've got a lot of players, actually. We have Lethal, Nino Val, Morgiana, I believe Morgiana, something like that. It's very close. Ant Valo, I'm the solo. I assume that's Glitch. Yeah. And then Kirito, which I confused for Kiriko. Yeah, Kirito 33. So we've got a bunch of, I'm assuming because of how many are listed there, we're going to have a few, I'm guessing subs, just because there are 7 there. So I'm expecting a few subs. But other than that, we can go ahead and get into, I think, the past week recap. So League of Legends has been on a tear recently, still undefeated. Currently, they went, the varsity against University of Albany won 2-0 against them, and then in the ESC, they won 2-0 against U Buffalo, and then 2-1 against Miami, Ohio. Speaking of Miami, Ohio, look out for that upcoming. I don't think.
Oh yeah, the ESC land.
Yeah, I don't think we're streaming it, but it will be streamed by somebody. It's the
Esports Conference.
Something. It's the ECAC land. It's not the Is it ESC?
Yeah, ESC land.
Is it ESC land? Yeah, okay, yeah. So look out for that. We've got, we will be a part of that. We will be helping to run it, but we won't be the ones just personally streaming it. It won't be over at Ball State, but look out for that because upcoming in April, that will show up, as well as our IEN will also be in April. So a lot of things to look out for in terms of land late into the semester, but we're keeping it going, keeping it running. But back into the recap, Overwatch and League are actually still undefeated, and unfortunately, COD Varsity did end up losing 0-3 to the FC Grizzlies. We're not perfect, but this is a great place to, you know, learn to make mistakes so that you can strive better. But I think I'll let you do the sim racing because you are much more qualified for that.
Of course, let the sim racer handle the sim racing, I guess. And yeah, we have some other great stats for you that have happened the past week. So just last Wednesday over spring break, not only did Alif win the Suzuka Grand Prix on Wednesday, but also on Monday, Daniel Nanny won his 4th win just this season. That was a Future Made by Hand 200 that was around Pocono. And then also just last night, around our home track actually, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, in that NASCAR, we didn't only just get a 1-2 with Daniel Nanny finishing 1st and Alif finishing 2nd. We got 5 cars in the top 10. Yeah. We finished 1st, 2nd, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So 8th was me, 9th was Kelton, and 10th was Kale.
Yeah.
Who Kale made a special appearance. He's usually just a road driver only, but since it was our home track, he decided to make an appearance in the Oval Series just for that one race, and he delivered. Top 10 performance, getting five Ball State cars in the top 10. No team ever, I don't think, besides us, has ever gotten more than 3 cars in the top 10. So the fact that we have gotten 5 now on multiple occasions is absolutely mind-blowing.
We have an absolutely incredible sim racing team here at Ball State. We have, of course, Alif, who sits over there.
Yeah,
it's off camera.
We're gesturing.
Yeah, it's right there. We have Alif. We also have Lucas, another sim racer. We've got plenty more. It's a great team. It's a great sport to actually be able to put on shows for. I wish we streamed them, but it's always at an inconvenient time where it clashes with our other streams. But one day, we will get a sim racing stream. I promise it. We will get one before at least I graduate, because I do want to put on one stream of at least sim racing. I have that same drive that Devin does to at least show them off, because I think they deserve it. Other than that, though, speaking of, or shifting over to Valorant once again, there is a new agent in Valorant, Waylay. I think we have a little bit of a showcase for you in terms of that. There we go.
Nice. Look at that.
Crazy graphic. So yeah, we have Waylay, new agent from Thailand. So she's got 4 abilities, of course, like usual. She's got Refract, which is kind of like a little bit like a molly, but it's more like a concussive grenade. You kind of bounce it off of the walls, and then it will land on the floor with a big AoE, and then it will sorry, no, that's Refract. Sorry, Saturate is the one I'm thinking of. Refract is a little different. Refract is like a teleport. It makes you invulnerable while you're using it. It's a lot slower than a teleport, so thinking of something like Chamber. Chamber's teleport is instant, same with Yoru's. You hit the button and you just teleport to wherever your teleporter is instantly. For Waylay, it's a little bit slower, so you kind of... Your POV is a little different. You can't see anything when you're using it. It goes fully green, and you're completely blind, but you're invulnerable. So it's kind of like a get in, get out kind of deal, because you can set it wherever. It'll stay there until you use it again, and it's kind of like a get out of jail free card, a lot like the other teleports. And then you have Saturate. That's the one I was talking about. It's like a cluster of light is the definition, but it's a little mote of light that you throw. It bounces off of walls, and then it will land on the ground. It will do a little AoE and hinder you, which is like a slow and stops you from shooting at full speed. I will let you do light speed and convergent path if you want to.
Yeah, so light speed is the one I've seen the most, at least in clips. It's like the big show. It's like a jet dash, except it fires twice. So there's 2 ways to fire. If you primary fire, aka you left click, it does 2 bursts. It gives you a burst of speed for upwards, and then it gives you a burst of speed forward. But you can alt fire it as well. And that one, I believe, just puts you forward, or it either just puts you up or just puts you forward. I assume you can, I assume you can tell it which way you want to go. But anyways,
I think it's just based on where you're looking.
Just based on where you're looking. That makes sense. So yeah, her left click with the light speed dashes you twice, and the right click dashes you once. I think is a really interesting mechanic because if you know Jet's dash, it's always only once. But it does it whichever direction you're moving. So you can go backwards, forwards with it. I know that her light speed, at least the primary fire of it, you have to go up your first time and then forward your second time. There's no going backwards with it or anything like that.
Actually, no, you can do 2-4 dash forward. The first one, it can send you up, but only the first dash can send you up.
Yes,
so
correct.
they can both be in any direction you want, as long as the first one, as long as if you're trying to go up, only the first one can do it. If you're trying to move like forward twice, you can do forward twice. You can do backwards. You can do any direction you're looking. So unlike a jet dash where it's where you're moving, this one is where you're looking.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like both updraft and dash from jet. So you get it's kind of one ability in two, or two abilities in one. So you can use that to kind of do exactly what updraft dash is, except you get to just decide on what you pick.
I guess a good like comparison is a jet dash is more like a tracer blink, where it blinks in the way that you're moving, and then a light speed is like a Winston jump. It only goes in the direction you're looking. And then her ultimate, you press that X, you get your ultimate convergent path. Equipped to focus your prismatic power, fire to create an after image of yourself that projects a beam of light. After a brief delay, you gain a powerful speed burst and the beam expands, hindering other players in the area. So it's really just an aerial denial thing, kind of like a fade ult, like a breach ult. It just sends a huge area in front of you, a bunch of stuns, or I guess, well, it first puts an after image of yourself, so you kind of like trick the enemies like, hey, I'm here. And then anybody, I don't know if you have to be looking at it, but anybody that gets caught in its fire gets stunned. And she's a duelist, so it's just a really good way to get on the site, really good way to enter.
Yeah. So there we go. Welcome back. Hello. But yeah, so Waylay, definitely a very fun new agent in Valorant. I always love when they get a new duelist, because the duelists are really, really interesting in the abilities they come up with. And now we've just got basically a secondary jet. So you can have two jets on one team.
Let's go. I love that.
Yeah. Just imagine sitting on a choke point, you see a jet throw smoke, and then a Waylay and a jet come over top of it.
Thank you, Riot.
Yeah, I would be very scared. But yeah, if I play
Killjoy, right?
Yeah, Killjoy and Cypher. Sentinels are my thing, but I get very nervous if I see a jet, and now I have the chance of seeing a Waylay too. So yeah, there's that. Other than that, though, I'm not sure if we will see a Waylay tonight. Sometimes they do want to test out the new agents, because a lot of the times they do end up coming out of the oven a little overcooked, a little bit overpowered sometimes. That was definitely the case with Tejo.
Oh,
Tejo, Tejo is a very good agent. He's a really good combo agent. He pairs with a lot of, so a lot of times you'll see like a Tejo and a Breach. Those go well together as a good pair. And now we might have another combo agent where we have a jet and a jet and a Waylay. So if we're looking at the comps, you know, this game's kind of turning into Overwatch a little bit. There's a lot of abilities to keep track of.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if by the time Valorant dies out eventually, that there are like, I don't know, 60-something agents like that.
At the rate they're releasing, that's in a couple years.
Yeah. Right? I mean, what, you get one every other season?
I think it's 2 per year, right?
So you get one, there's 3 acts in a year.
Yes.
And then you get one.
Well, we've already had 2. Tejo released it at the beginning of this year, right? Or was it the end of last year?
Tejo was
this year, right?
This year.
So we've already had 2 this year.
Yeah.
And there's definitely going to be more.
I'm pretty sure the way is it 2 agents per act?
No, it couldn't be. Because I remember last year, didn't they only release Clove and Vice? Those are the only new agents.
I think, yeah. It's weird. Valorant, the way it releases, I'm not 100% sure on what it is. I know a lot of the times they'll do like they'll kind of do what Rainbow Six does, where it's like they'll release a new agent, and then in one other update they'll do a map change. Speaking of map changes, Ascent got changed.
Yes.
You can no longer spam through the brick wall with an Odin with sonar from Sova. There's like a big sheet metal now in front of that wall, so you can still scan through it. It's still there. The window is up there. So if you want to like throw a grenade down, you can do that. But in terms of shooting through
no more Odin spams.
No more Odin spams. So there is a little bit of a map change. There's a new agent, so Valorant's got a lot to it.
Yeah, and speaking of other changes, we saw the Waylay highlight intro that we had. We also have a highlight video to show the audience at home. So if we want to play that really quickly, it's a very cool graphic.
Yeah. I think it's just gameplay.
Gameplay,
though.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, we're not showing off the trailer because a lot of times it doesn't really show up, but here we are. We've got Waylay, so you've got those abilities in the bottom. We can go ahead and start off with the C there. So
that's the molly.
Yeah, so we can't necessarily show hindered unless the bots are moving, but when you are hindered, you get slowed down to about 50% of your movement speed, and you can only shoot 1 bullet per about, yeah, like that. Yeah, so that's when you're hindered. And then you have the dash. We can go ahead and show that after stop being hindered. Yeah, the dash, it can go, I believe, in any direction. So yeah, you can see that up, and then it can't go up again because it was the second dash. But if you choose to just go straight up, bam, you can just dash in. You can also kind of use it for information. So if you have a high sense, you can dash up over something and then just dash back so you're not shot. So you can kind of just like this. Yeah, you can go up, peak information, and then you could just like immediately, you could just decide to turn around, say, okay, we know where they are for the second, and then you just decide, whoop, gone, just like that.
Oh, nice.
And you've
got the right click on that? Can we see that?
Yeah, the right click I think can go up as well, but it only does it once. It cannot go up. Okay. Oh yeah, it can go up. Okay.
We're getting trolled by fraud.
just wasn't looking up. Yeah, because again, it's where you're looking. Yes. It's not where you're running. And then the last ability that isn't her ult is this little thing. It's a teleporter on a timer. So unlike Yoru and unlike Chamber, where Chamber's is a radius and Yoru's is just wherever the ball ends up being, hers is on a timer. It's still a teleport, but it's a lot slower. So she can place it on the ground for a second, say like peek, and then she gets a kill, maybe gets 2 kills, and then just gets out, just like that. And so you can't see anything, but you're invulnerable. They can still see you as you teleport out. But again, it's slow. You're invulnerable. It's kind of like a what's the lady who traps you? Deadlock. It's kind of like a deadlock ult where you move slow and you can see it, but you can't shoot it unless.
And you also can't cancel it.
You also, yeah, no. There's no canceling
once you hit E, you're going to teleport back no matter what.
Yeah, and then
really interesting.
Her ultimate is a little. It's like a big wave of everything. I believe it can't go through walls. I don't think it.
Oh, you can't if you just don't click anything. Okay, yeah. I am wrong. Sorry.
Okay, I don't think it can go through walls, but if it can, that'd be crazy. But so it does that, and then it will stun everything in its path, hindering them.
That's a long hinder.
It's a very long hinder. So kind of unlike a breach ult where it just happens and you're hindered for the natural amount of time. This one, if you're caught in it, you are hindered for, that looks like 5 seconds. Let's see if it can go through walls. If you can, that's crazy. Oh, I think it can. Oh my goodness.
My. 3.
Wow.
4. Yeah, like 4 seconds.
Yeah,
wow.
It's like maybe 4.5, maybe 5 seconds. It's a long hinder, but she is going to be it's definitely a different way to like play Jet. I think if you're thinking about Jet, don't really think about it in terms of where Jet is really this like killer who's like really fast with mobility. Waylay is all about stunning and then going in. It's less about initiation because she's not an initiator, she's a duelist. So where Jet has the smokes, Waylay has the teleport. Where Jet has the dash and updraft, Waylay has her dashes, and then she's got her her little stun grenade. So yeah, she's got a lot to her.
Yeah, and then just quickly wrapping back to the upcoming games, we touched on it a little bit, but tomorrow we do have League of Legends versus Northeastern. That's a huge match. I believe the top 2 teams in the conference, if I'm not mistaken. And then this weekend, this Saturday, we have CRL. So our Rocket League red team and our black team, but we'll be streaming our red team, has CRL matches to try to make those qualifiers. And then we also have Overwatch 2 Duel Week next week, so make sure to stick around for that. I'm excited to cast those because Overwatch matches are always just a lot of fun. But before we get into the game, we are going to cut to a quick commercial break. But do not go anywhere. Do not leave your seat. You can grab some popcorn. You can grab some snacks, maybe some water. Maybe a nice Pepsi, definitely a sponsor.
Or maybe some Rice Krispies. We have like a whole box of them. Yeah, if you're in house, now's a good time to come get some Rice Krispies.
Yep. But yeah, don't go anywhere besides grabbing a quick snack because we will be right back after this break with some Valorant gameplay.
The quest for knowledge and a greater understanding is a lifelong pursuit. An ascent towards a fulfilling career and a meaningful life. As Ball State Cardinals, we learned early on that it's our responsibility to prepare and to prepare you for anything. Beneficence stands tall. as a symbol of enduring values that have sustained us for more than a century. Forged during a turbulent time, the Great Depression, and from the contributions of more than 11,000 people, beneficence inspires us. What we know about adversity is that we do not choose the time, but we do choose the response with grit, creativity, and dedication. Where tradition meets innovation, we form an enduring partnership, a formidable alliance with a deep desire to learn, to teach, to grow, to thrive, to fly. The values of Ball State University embody a wealth of opportunity, a powerful bond among faculty, staff, students, and alumni, and a bright future that includes you. Our intellect and experiences fuel our purpose and our capacity to serve our neighbors. Your journey begins now. We will remember this time for the opportunities we seized, the discoveries we made, and the lives we transformed. At Ball State University, with beneficence as our guide, we fly.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys got some good snacks. Hope you got some good drinks. I'm a fan favorite of water. I don't know about you, but that's my favorite drink personally.
I don't think I can legally say what my favorite drink is. So yeah, we
Anyways. Grab some-
yeah. So okay, back to what we were talking about prior. We were talking about the upcoming streams, but we are on the lookout for Marvel Rivals as well. I know this weekend is going to be let's see, that will be CRL this weekend, but Marvel Rivals, our red and black rosters take place both Saturday and Sunday. Black roster does Saturday, Sunday. The red roster does just Saturdays. However, we're still working out the kinks with the red roster, so we might end up streaming the black roster on the upcoming weekends as we move through the rest of the semester. So be on the lookout for that. We haven't fully decided if we're going to do that yet, but it would be a good thing to replace our league matches on Saturdays with something upcoming like Marvel Rivals, because I would love to have some streams like that, and I know you guys would too, because it's a huge popular game right now.
So you're saying, you're saying red roster, black, are they officially a varsity team now?
Okay, so I can't end. Okay, so I am a part of the black roster.
Nice. Did you sign an NDA? Can you not talk about it?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not you're the one running it.
Okay.
But I don't know how it's been decided yet. I'm pretty sure it's still a club team. I think the way it works at Ball State is you start out as a club team, and then you do that for a year, and then you move to an academy team, and you do that for a semester or two. Maybe it's one or the other. And then you become a varsity team. So
gotcha.
Although it is red and black roster, I still think Marvel Rivals has to move through the ranks as a club team first. So while it has the naming of our varsity teams, I believe it is club. But, I'd love for it to be varsity. I could just claim, hey, I'm on a varsity team. But yeah, so we've got Marvel Rivals possibly upcoming, so don't quote me on that, but I know we're working towards getting that streamed. And then we also have, I know we're trying to work out the kinks with this too, we might have a CS stream. Our CS team, our lovely players are here Tuesday, Wednesdays to play their games. We might be trying to get one of their streams. I know we've been talking about it with Marcus, their lead. So we've been discussing that, seeing if that comes around. So look out for that too. We've got a bunch, although like ECAC is like coming to a close, we got a lot of streams still planned out for the rest of the semester. So I think it's going to be a good closing semester in my opinion.
Yeah, and I haven't actually talked about this with any of Prod yet, but I want to try to do another Ball State Night of Fun. Last spring semester, we did a night, I think we called it like a night of fun, where we just messed around in 3 different sim races. I believe we did Indy Oval, we did the Miatas around Monza, and we did some really weird dirt track and Volkswagen Beetles. But that was a really fun night. So I'm hoping that maybe I can talk with production, get another one of those going, because I know that Devin, I think it was Devin and Austin casted it. I know they had a lot of fun with it. I'll be driving, but I know that you and probably...
I would assume Wyatt.
Wyatt loves racing. So it'll be you and Wyatt will have a ton of fun with that. So we got to get something like that in the works, especially because CIL itself is... So CIL is the league we race in. Not only is that growing, but our ties with CIL are growing. So we should be able to get a pretty big turnout if we put a sign-up sheet out and we're like, hey, everybody, this is going to be a really fun night. Just chill, you know, just us having a good time, having some laughs. Please sign up and have some fun with it and just join us for the one night.
I would recommend talking with Wyatt about that, actually, because you might be able to do it on like a Monday, because you know how every Monday we do like
because we got races.
Oh, that's right.
We'd have to do it. No, we have to do it on a Friday.
Okay. I know every Monday, if you're familiar with Ball State's club, we've been doing, and it's not up there on the back screen, but it's up there every once in a while. We do like little fun days on Monday, every other Monday. We just do events. This upcoming Monday is Jackbox.
Jackbox, yep. And we just did Valorant.
Yeah. I don't know why we didn't end up streaming Val. I don't know if we're going to stream Jackbox. That's a little tricky.
I don't know if it's family friendly.
That's
at least the way I play Jackbox.
I think we'd have to keep it family friendly if we were gonna stream it. We did stream Jackbox for a 24-hour stream. We kept that family friendly, so that was there. But then inviting a bunch of college students into a Jackbox server, I don't know if that would stay perfect. We'd kind of have to set some ground rules for that one. But yeah, we've got a lot coming at you, so even off of streams, we still have plenty of stuff here to do at Ball State Esports. It's, you know, open play from 3:30 to 7:30. I would know because I work here. And then we've got those club games that happen every other Monday. It's real fun. You know, sign up for them. Come enjoy the space. Sometimes we have snacks. Today we have snacks. So yeah, you know, you never know what the day is going to bring over at Ball State Esports. But tonight I do know it's Valorant. So I'm very excited for that. And we should be getting into game here shortly. I'm hoping. I think it's been about 15 minutes. I can't check my phone.
This is yap time for us.
This is yap time.
Yeah, and to any high schoolers not knowing what college they want to go to yet, or thinking about coming to Ball State, you definitely should. Definitely at least apply. Definitely tour the place, because once you come and take a look at the campus, you can understand the layout of everything. And once you look through the glass windows of the esports room, it just blows you away. Because you guys see a great amount behind us. Like you get all 12 of the stage PCs, 4090s by the way, and then all of the classroom PCs behind us, but they don't get to see the best part.
Yeah.
They're missing all 4 of our sim rigs, which, I mean, seeing them all together in person, I remember the first time I toured here and saw them, I was like, wow, you know, just like a kid in a candy store essentially. But if you have not toured Ball State and you're a high school student, you absolutely have to check it out.
And request Carlos. Request Carlos as your tour guide.
Do that.
Shameless plug. But yeah, request Carlos. You want him to be your tour guide. Best tour guide. I see him out here, you know, every once in a while come past the Ball State Esports league.
There he is. Yeah.
Hi, Carlos. Request Carlos as your tour guide. I know you can't do that, but you should try anyways. But yeah. What else can we yap about? I usually do food with Wyatt. Yeah.
Okay, what did I eat today? Well, I had lunch. I had chicken tenders, and then for dinner I had Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Did you go? I assume you went to
Woody.
Yeah, Woody for chicken. Yeah. I go to Woody for their. Have you had their chicken parm sandwich?
I've not. No.
Okay. So
Sounds
if you go to it's not just a sandwich you can get. Like it's not just out for the chicken parm sandwich. You have to get so you know the noodle place. The Italian place at Woody.
Yeah, like the pasta.
Yeah, the pasta place. Yeah. They on their secret menu is a chicken parm sandwich, and they make it fresh. They take they take 2 chicken tenders, and then they put on unmelted cheese and marinara sauce, and they stick it in their pizza oven. And then it cooks, and they give it to you, and it's real good. And they put on spices and seasonings, and
that does sound good.
Yeah, and then I get that, and then if I have extra money, I'll get the boba tea. That's kind of iffy. It's up to you, really, if you want boba tea. I like it, but it's kind of pricey. It's like $5, I think, which is expensive for tea. I usually just stick with water because you can get like the liter bottle for like
water is good for you.
Yeah, good water.
Good water.
Yeah, you can get like the liter bottle for like $2, I think.
Yeah.
That's usually what I get. I get like a lot of the times I'm like super busy up until dinner time, so I don't really get lunch, and I use 2. Speaking of water, we've got
Aquafina.
Water.
Sponsored.
Not sponsored.
No, it is sponsored.
Are we sponsored?
It's Pepsi.
Oh, it is Pepsi.
Yeah, it's Pepsi.
Okay.
Sponsored.
I didn't know that Aquafina was Pepsi. I didn't know they had a water company.
Everything sold here is Pepsi.
Oh.
Either Pepsi owned or like Pepsi like partners, so like Rockstar, Celsius, Mountain Dew, Pepsi itself.
Yeah.
what else there? Starry.
Yeah,
Or
Starry.
what used to be Sprite. No,
Yeah.
sorry,
No,
no. It is Starry.
It is
What
Starry.
used to be Mellow Yellow.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Propel, also owned by Gatorade. Gatorade.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm personally a Powerade fan. I know that's a little weird.
Get Out. No, I'm not saying.
yeah.
I'm saying Get Out because we're sponsored.
Yeah.
But that also is pretty weird.
Powerade,
They're not bad.
Yeah, like Powerade and Gatorade are very sugary drinks. Don't get me wrong. If I feel like I'm having like if I want sugar, I'll get like a Powerade or a Gatorade. But
You can't really go wrong. Like all of the not energy drinks. Sorry, all of the sports drinks are pretty good tasting. Like Vitamin Water, Prime. They're all pretty good.
Oh yeah, Vitamin Water's good.
Yeah. Or what was the other one? V8.
Yeah.
Isn't that one as well? But no, the energy drinks. We have Rockstar and Celsius. I'm a huge Celsius fan myself.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any other Celsius lovers out there, but I just had the grape flavor today, and it reminds me of the old grape Kickstart. I don't know if you ever had the Mountain Dew Kickstart, but they got discontinued. I don't know if they got discontinued, they just don't sell anymore, but I haven't seen a Kickstart in so long, and they used to have a really good midnight grape flavor, and Celsius now has a grape flavor, and it just like brought me back to those memories.
Yeah.
Freshman year of high school.
So my the Gatorade Kickstart, my high school used to have it had one singular vending machine. There was one vending machine in the whole school.
It's crazy.
And it only had Gatorade products. It had Kickstart, it had just flat out Gatorade, and then I guess it wasn't only Gatorade, it had you know those like Starbucks
the Frappuccinos.
Yeah,
those are really good.
Yeah, it had those too, and conveniently it was around the athletic place, so obviously it's like get your energy before you go like to work out or something, which is probably a bad idea to have a Frappuccino.
Nah, it's not gonna mix well.
Yeah, I doubt it. But I mean, it's high school, who cares? They're making money. But yeah, that was my only vending machine, and it had Gatorade products, and it had Kickstart, and I think I had one Kickstart ever, and I think the only flavor in there was grape.
Yeah, it's so good. It really is a good flavor. Other things to yap about, the map pool, I believe, changed. So it was just Ascent and Icebox out of rotation. It's now changed over. I believe there's a really recent patch. Now Breeze and Bind are currently out of rotation, which leaves the 7 other maps I'm not going to name because I'm definitely going to miss some. But that is bringing Ascent back into the map pool, which is the map changes we were talking about, that you can no longer shoot through that brick wall. Thank God. Like, that is such an amazing change. Like, I haven't played the game in a while, but I remember absolutely hating Sovas who would just dart over top, take an Odin, and just no life, no skills spam through that. And it's just like, I mean, just what are we doing? So thank you, Riot, for changing that. Riot, you don't give me much in this world, but thank you for giving me that.
Yeah.
And I did just get word we're going to game.
We are going to game. So yeah, we've got that coming at you, and there it is, Lotus starting it out.
I love this map.
So from Ball State's side, it seems like they're hovering over Raze, Omen, Teho, and then we're up against Keiser. So from Keiser, they have locked in all but the Omen. So they've locked in that Teho, that Vise, Raze, some Breach action. Like I said, Breach and Teho go incredibly well. They're hard hovering over top of that Omen. They have now picked that Omen. And from Ball State, we've got still a few hovers, nothing picked out just yet. Obviously deciding what they want to go for, but now they're starting to lock in here. So we've got that Vise, that Fade, hovering Omen, hovering that Raze, and then hovering Viper. Got a few things there planned out. I'm assuming both sides, of course, going for those Raze as their duelist there. So probably going to stick closer to the A site, just kind of throwing down their nades A long towards A short. See if they can't catch anything off guard. And then we've got that Fade, probably going to be used for some site retakes and some hopefully some initiation, because that is the role. And then we've locked in that Omen, that Viper, so those Viper walls going to do some work, as well as those Omen smokes. With 3 sites to defend, Omen smokes are going to be almost necessary, required even, to hold down these sites, because you can throw them from anywhere, and you can, lock down a site just like that. But with no other smokes in the game, it seems like this is what we are going to work with, and we're going to get into game here very shortly for the first round. Ball State starting on defense.
And TN on that Viper, actually an agent I've never seen him play before. TN just last semester was our duelist, and then Tenjmin came in not overtook, but like filled that duelist role and put TN to our flex now. So I've seen him play anything from an Yoru to I've seen him play Teho a lot. Now he's playing the Viper. I've actually never seen him on this Viper, but I'm really interested to see how he plays it. If he plays more of a Sentinel way of playing it, because it's kind of a pseudo-Sentinel character in sorts, or if he wants to take a more controller way of playing it. He's going to lay down this very typical smoke that not only covers that B site choke, but also covers that A site choke as well. Probably one of the best Viper walls on this game, and I don't believe we'll ever see him stray from that. Maybe in a couple circumstances if something gets changed. But yeah, that's a very common Viper wall.
Yeah, I don't think we needed to switch over, and yeah, we're going straight back, because that was a very quick tech pause from them.
Hello, I am Fraggleton, a.k.a. Casimir.
But yeah, so we got some name changes. Yeah. Maybe don't read into that chat a little bit. I'm glad there's a filter there. Yeah, so it seems like they're kind of hovering between the sites here. We've got, it looks like a Raze and Teho going up towards B main here, and then that Omen Breach hitting up towards C, and the Vi is just playing a little bit off towards A here. Ball State has taken up a little aggressive playstyle here from Viper.
TN looks to just be dead here, gets blinded and stunned. Ant will be able to find the one tap with that Ghost. So now it's going to be a 4v5 here. It is Ball State starting on defense and Keiser starting on attack. Rebo is all by himself with Grim on the C site, but Keiser are actually going to opt to rotate. They don't like what they see. They found that pick. They're going to do what I like to call a pick and rotate, and they're running all the way over to this A site that Casimir is guarding with his Vice utility. And you see that Vice wall. As soon as a player of Keiser crosses that wall, the wall goes up, and they get trapped in there. It's an indestructible wall. And here is the hit from Keiser University. Casimir is able to find one before getting traded out from Ant. Tenjimin's not able to find one. Now a 2v4 for Ball State. Ant will be able to find the plant. Now it's just Rebo and Grim by themselves. They have to play this smart if they want to win this first round and don't want to put themselves at a disadvantage early in this match. But no, Nino will find the kill under Rebo. Grim just gotta get back into the Kovacs, just missing the tracking shots. All good from him. Nino with the 3K, and that's a first round one from Keiser.
Yeah, if we know anything about Ball State, is that the pistol round is scary for them. But, you know, still getting into that, and they've got that, they don't have the squishy bear. Where's the squishy, the little squish toy? Does anybody? I hope one of them has the bear. So there are these new things in Valorant. They're called flexes, I believe. You have a little you have a little thing that you pull out in your hand. I believe there are 3 of them. There's one from a pack. It's a little snake thing. There's a phone, and then now there's a squishy bear. It's like a little a squish toy, and you squish it and it squeaks. I don't know if anybody on Ball State has the squishy bear, but it's my favorite flex in the game because it squeaks. Its eyes kind of bulge out when you squish it, and it kind of compacts into a little round ball. It's my favorite little flex.
And Casimir still just holding that angle with the Sheriff. He's going to be breach stunned. He's going to try to run away for his life. He's able to bring his flashback so he can replace that after the cooldown is expired. However, he's just by himself here on this C site. He has to be very careful. Oh, no, sorry. Now he has, I believe that is TN and Tenjmin backing him up and a lot of other Ball State members on the way. But it looks like, once again, Keiser is just showing pressure C site. They're not actually going to be hitting it. They're not going to advance too far. Ball State call their bluff this time, and TN and Tenjmin are already running back over, and Grim's able to find one. That's a really huge trade. Any trades on eco rounds are what you want because that takes a good gun out of the hands of Keiser. But that's going to be more trades coming back and forth. Now 3v3. Tenjmin finds the one tap before getting traded out. Now a 2v2. Can Rebo find the shots? No, he cannot. And finds the one tap with the Phantom. It's Casimir just by himself, but both of the players of Keiser are low, and he's able to find the Ghost, the Sheriff, on the ground. So he does have a gun that he can win. And he has a Guardian now, so he's upgraded heavily. He's able to find Ant, but can he find Nino? Does he know that Nino is sitting in tree on 31 health? He has to play this carefully. I don't think he expects it. He's not looking that way at all. I just don't think he's there. Turn around, Casimir! No! Just didn't turn around. He just didn't expect someone to be sitting there and is going to lose to 31 health. great eco round there for Ball State, even though they lost, getting 4 guns out. Is really
incredible
huge.
eco round. The only thing they are taking out of that is 1 Vandal, and now the rest of Keiser is going to have to work back towards that eco, and we are having a little bit of technical difficulty. We've gone to a little bit of a black screen here. I'm just gonna take a guess. Oh no, there it is. Okay. But yeah, so we've got a little bit of I'd say a more favorable buy for Ball State right here. Less favorable from Keiser here just because of how well that eco round went. So they've got 2 Sheriffs, 1 Vandal. Obviously, that Vandal is what Nino took out of that round after surviving. 1 Outlaw with light shields, which that is going to be a little scary because Ball State, only 1 player, Grimmy, has heavy shield. So they are still 1-shot to that Outlaw. Definitely a decent buy for this upcoming well, not eco round, but economy setup that Ball State is running with. They go ahead and decide to leave B a little bit open here in this round, possibly just because they have that Viper wall guarding it. It guards A and B, so if they do decide to push into B, they will know instantly that they went ahead and pushed through that Viper wall. So if they catch them early enough into the fight, they will be able to just hold the rest from that Viper wall. It does end up blocking off a good sightline, but it seems like a lot of them are just holding A main here as they try to push out. It does get blinded a little bit by the own Viper wall there as he backs off.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick hit here from Keiser University. Are they going to stick with this hit, though, or are they going to try the bluff once again? The paint shells gets Tenjimin a little bit low, but he's going to hide behind that wall. If anyone from Keiser tries to break it, they're going to met with a face full of Vandal. And once again, Keiser showing signs of life and just insta-rotating. If they do this every round, Ball State will just start to expect it. But look at that. I like what Lethal is doing. He's holding ground very far up on that B site, making sure that Ball State, no players of Ball State can hit a really nasty lurk, a sneaky lurk through B, protecting the backside of his teammates by holding all that angle or by holding all that space B side. There are the mollies coming out from Keiser, and here is the hit. Tenjimin still holding this off angle, was going to opt to break the door, but he's going to be looked at by 3 people. He gets blind, is able to find a kill with that paint shells before falling. Tien's able to find another through all the chaos. He actually was able to find one on Nino. Casimir now, and Grim will be the next one to fall before getting traded out by Rebo. Now just Ant by himself on this breach. Rebo's able to find the head tap and secure the bonus, the anti-bonus, I guess I should say, for Ball State.
Yeah, I did like what we saw that round. They went ahead and decided to say, hey, we're just going to go ahead and take this Raze, who's likely the only person on B defending it, just based on positioning alone, because we saw that the Viper, the Vise was holding B main right outside the door. And then once they saw the Raze fall, the rest of them just kind of decided to try and take that site. But what they didn't know was that the Viper was sitting up heaven, and then the Vise was able to wrap back around quickly, get to that B site, cut the rest off, and then they just kind of pinched them from there on out. And the rest of them just slowly started to fall as they pushed through the smokes or if they got traded out. And now we're going to move on to this next round. It seems like it's going to be a majority C hit. Doesn't get targeted by that drone, which is a very important piece of util. And now it's not going to have that for the rest of the round. But it does seem like it's going to be a very confident C take if they don't decide to back out.
Yeah, Rebo taking a ton of space already. A Rebel. I don't think Lethal knows he's there. So if Rebo can find a timing here, find an early pick, that will be huge for this round. He is able to. So already a 4v5. Keiser starting down. Solo is able to trip that Vice Wall. So no more Vice Wall for Casimir. He has to be very careful now because essentially what you can do is you can jump over it, and as you do it, you counter strafe, and you're actually able to trigger it without getting stuck on the other side. A neat little tech that not a lot of people know, but Rebo still holding the space even after finding the pick. And now, I like this from Keiser. Every other round, they showed signs of life and instantly rotated out. But now, showing signs of life and holding the space, but no, Ball State expected. They said, we know you're bluffing this time. We know you didn't actually rotate. We know that you are just sitting there silent and trying to make us think that you rotated, but now they do actually rotate through that door, but that door makes a lot of noise. The Aftershock comes out from Ant to try to clear some of that space through that BC link, and he is going to push him off the angle, but not long enough for Keiser to actually have a hit now. They have to go B. There's only 12 seconds remaining. Ball State know they have to go here. They know they don't have time to go anywhere else. 5 seconds. Keiser has to go, and they have to go now. 3, 2, 1. They are just saving their weapons, apparently. They didn't like what they saw. Just going to give Ball State the round for free. I mean, I guess they just lollygag too much. That's really all there is to say.
Yeah, and though I wouldn't necessarily say the word lollygag. It's kind of just Ball State played that round really well in terms of aerial denial. They were able to keep Keiser out of position, and they just get them in this situation where they don't feel comfortable pushing on a site because they know, hey, we didn't push into the site fast enough, and that's a very cute elephant. But they just didn't push into the site fast enough, and Ball State was able to rotate back around with great haste. It was able to shut down Keiser before they even got a chance to get in, because with the Omen smokes, with the Viper smokes, with the Vise wall, with the Viper wall, they just have so much area denial and visibility that they're just able to shut them down really early on into the fights and just kind of force them from pushing into the site, because they just get nervous and say, hey, if we push in through here, we're likely just going to get shut down immediately. And so with all of that util being put to great use, they just weren't able to do much, and now we see a Vise very far pushed up.
Casimir doing Casimir things and hitting that sneaky flank, that sneaky lurk that he loves to do so much. He gets two, and the spike as well. Tien finds one off screen. He's only got 7 health, trying to find the head tap with the Sheriff. Does not. Is able to find 2 before falling, though. We know how much Casimir likes finding those timings, likes finding those really awkward flanks. He's just... he's so magnificent at finding the times to do it. I don't understand how he sees the game like that. But it is only 2 people remaining for Keiser University now. It is just Solo and Mason, so they're going to have to play this smart if they want to win this round, because if they don't, they're going to have a really weak bye for the next. But look at this. Tenjiman and Grim are holding this cross angle, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're going to fall. Bop, bop, just like that, and that will be another round 1 for Ball State.
Yeah, while Ball State wasn't able to do much in those first few rounds, they were able to shut down Keiser in terms of the economy, and they just keep continuing to do so. They're just able to take them out of these fights really early on, and before they even get a chance to say, hey, let's go ahead and try and rotate, Ball State is kind of already anticipating that and putting themselves in positions where they can hold crosses like this and just shut them down immediately before they even get a chance to think about, hey, let's rotate once again, or hey, it's a 2v4, maybe we should think about doing another save. But with the eco that Keiser is working with right now, they're kind of in a bad spot to think about rotating. That's a really good combo I saw there. That was a good pull into the raise grenade. They're trying to suck them into it so they take that early damage. They did end up nailing that raise just a bit, so no shields for her, which means she's going to be able to be taken out of this fight relatively easily if she decides to engage early, which she should be doing as a duelist.
Yeah, look how much attention Casimir is able to draw. He flanks one time, and oh, there's the ult coming out from Tenjiman's able to find one with that. The ult also came out. I heard the alt line. I couldn't quite tell which one it was, but another alt came out. And there is the Roomba that is going to spot a player of Keiser. So they do know they're there. They're going to have to rotate out. It looks like they want to go C. But look how the Vice of Keiser had to use his wall just to protect from the flank of Casimir, because it was so brutal last time. So Casimir doing the flank one time takes so much attention from that Keiser University team. Even though he's not flanking this time, just doing it once kind of like puts the question marks in their head, puts that pressure now, because if it happens again, you're just completely dead if you don't expect it. Keiser now looking for the B hit, which isn't usually recommended. It's a very tough site to hit because of how many chokes there are to defend it from, but no, they're going to go to C. Mason TP's onto site. The Aftershock is going to push Casimir out of position. Mason's able to find the flank one tap with that Sheriff from the well-used Shrouded Step. Tien now holding this angle, seeing if he can find the trade onto Mason. It's now Tenjiman, Tien retaking this site together, and does not get the plant down, and there's not enough time. All Ball State have to do is to live, and they win this round. They do just live, but now they're going to peek. They're going to look for the kills. Mason's trying to plant for the extra money. He does get it down, which is 300 credits extra for each player of Keiser, but that's a huge kill, killing Ant, killing the spike planter, just completely denying it.
Yeah, that was a decent round for Keiser. They played that well. They finally got onto site without much util, used to their name. That teleport was a little obvious and probably made a very loud sound in terms of being able to be heard. But I think the Vise, unfortunately, just wasn't able to see that. Now we see that's it. That's the squishy bear. That's the you can hold that thing. I swear you can hold.
You can hold the cult people.
It's it's that exact bear. You squish it and its eyes pop and it makes a little squeaky noise. You can hold it in your hand. But yeah, I hope we get another view of that so you can see the little squishy bear more. But yeah, so they were able to just Ball State's been able to shut them down really easily without much util. And now Keiser does have 4 ults. So if they decide to go ahead and hold this, hold those ults further into the round, they're going to be able to try and do some good work with them if they stagger them out enough. And it seems like now they are dedicating to a bit of a split here as they send 3 towards A and 1 towards...
with this operator, he might be able to find one. He does not. That smoke comes down just before he was able to line up his target perfectly, but he is going to throw the blind out and take some space here. Lethal's trying to find some space. Casimir is going to get Mason off screen. Lethal is going to be able to find a kill lurking in that smoke on the Tenjmin, so it's still a 4v4 situation, but Keiser still are not on site, and we know they've been having a lot of trouble doing so. And that's the Armageddon coming out from Tejo. Grim is expecting this, finds 3 before dying to Solo. Solo by himself trying to use that Raze ult to get a kill. It misses, and then he's able to kill Grim in the end, but when you're left in a 3v1 situation, there's not much you can do, and he will die, and it'll be another Ball State round win, 5 in a row now for them.
Yeah, they've just been kind of keeping the streak going, which is killing Keiser's economy because they're kind of in a situation now where they're just rotating between being out of economy and being in economy. They do decide to go ahead and call a timeout early into this match here, which is to be expected with something as momentum-based as Ball State's team is right now. So Keiser definitely needs to work a little bit further in terms of holding their economy steady. They need to be winning these rounds that they're using their eco in, because if they're not able to successfully take out enough of Ball State's members in those eco rounds, well, Ball State they can either buy each other, or they just have enough eco saved up to where they can just buy themselves back. And with 5 rounds back to back to back won, they are able to do that relatively well for themselves. And that's a wonderful 3K from Grimmy there. Back to a little bit of a black screen, and then cut back to us, still working out the kinks with their replay system. I mean, we have some replay systems now, which is great. I love that we have that.
I can't do it as well as you can. Why am I so bad at this? What? But yeah, I love this timeout call from Keiser. We know how much Valorant is a game of momentum, and when Ball State is on a 5-win streak like that, you want to try to take a timeout to kill that momentum. And I mean, yeah, what are you seeing here? Okay,
so that's a squishy bear in a little inflatable. It is the squishy bear. You can hold, you can squeeze it, and it.
Oh! I'm sorry. That was a great perspective of Casimir absolutely getting face planted by a bullet. I love that Tejo drone out from Nino. I mean, he just absolutely fell over like a ragdoll after taking a crazy shot to the head. That puts Keiser at an advantage for the first time, and I feel like so many rounds now, a 5v4 for them, but their trouble has not been getting kills. Their trouble's been getting onto site, and look at that. Mason trying to get some info, takes so much damage, down to 16 health. Rebo's down to 70. He gets some shields back because of those regens, and he is able to find the trade back onto Lethal. So that will now be a 4v4, but Keiser, once again, I feel like I've said this so much, still not on site. Tien knows that Solo is there. He's expecting him to be in the smoke. That's why he's just holding this angle. There's the sun with the flash, coming out. Grim's able to find the kill onto Solo, but he still knows that Ant is there. He's still playing his time. He doesn't want to peek an angle that he doesn't have to. There's the fade out coming out from Grim. And the dog, Ant is completely left alone, stunned on site. Ant spotted. Does not matter. He's able to find the one tap on the Grim. That is incredible stuff when you're under that much pressure and when you're at such low of health. Both of the players of Keiser are one tap. It's going to be so hard to win, and it will not be winnable as Tenjmin, he doesn't even care if they're low health. He's going to hit the headshots anyways.
Yeah. I do like what we saw from those ults there. The Fade ult being used as a big retake tool. They were able to shut down that plant relatively easily, and Keiser, while being able to get onto site, was just kind of taken out of their element by that Fade ult, which, if you don't know, turns off all audio you can hear. You only hear whispers in your ear, and then you are, actually, I think that's it. You're also marked,
yes.
Which Fade can use her dogs to follow up on, and I love that angle that the Omen was able to take there onto that Vise, just kind of shutting her down on a little bit of an off angle. And then, of course, we saw Tenjmin just take 2 clean headshots onto the Omen into the breach there. Was able to shut that down, keep that round going, keep their eco in a very good position. And now, the fact that the Omen was able to actually die that round means incoming operator, and that is going to be an unfortunate raise, but no, the shot is just barely missed. Unfortunate is the only word I can come up with for that. But yeah, definitely going to have to work towards getting that one back. And out comes the breach ult.
Yeah, so that is the Rolling Thunder out from Ant. Solo's able to find a kill onto Grim using that ult to very good effect. But Rebo is playing Tree in a very weird angle. I don't think they expect him to be there. Tenchman's able to find the kill onto Mason, but Tenchman's able to find the kill onto Nino as well. There comes the Vice ult out from, I believe that was, the Vice out from Keiser. So that's going to be only secondaries for Ball State, and that might just be what Keiser needs to win the round, except it's just hit lethal by himself, and he's not able to get the job done. So many kills happen off screen, and just Keiser once again falling one by one, having so much trouble getting onto sites. I believe they just have to, the Raze just has to go, I don't know if they have to go in quicker, but something has to change.
Yeah, keeping the ult economy in your favor is definitely very important. And now that they have that Viper ult to their name, they're going to be able to just hold down one site all by themselves if they want to do so. And they could use that to their advantage heavily on defense, because that's a one-man site hold. And Viper, all you need to do, and it seems like that's what they're going to try here as that's Vise, sorry. The Viper and Vise seem to be doing a little bit of a team up between C and B, what they've been doing this whole game naturally. But yeah, that Viper ult is going to be very useful. And it seems like it's a very heavy push onto the A site here, but up goes that Viper wall and immediately shutting down Keiser before they even get a chance to rush out of A main.
Yeah, so maybe the answer was just hard rushing A site, but it doesn't seem to be, as Grim's able to find two before dying. Tenjman gets one before being traded out. Rebo's able to find a head tap of his own. Nito is going to spot Rebo, though, with that drone, but he's all by himself in a 1v3 and doesn't have Spike, so he has to peek that Ball State member to pick up the Spike. Then he has to be able to find a way to get onto a site and actually plant it as well. But Rebo will do a sneaky TP, find the one tap, and secure the round.
Yeah, that Omen smoke, it does fall with gravity, but it's very slow, so you can use it to kind of hide away your teleport, like we saw from Rebo there, was able to shut them down really easily. And now we are seeing a little bit of a replay here with just basic good shots from the Ball State team. And it was unfortunate we saw Keiser go ahead and just decide to do a full out rush and then just kind of stop in their tracks when they saw that Viper wall, because the Viper wall isn't a means to all, it's not an all end kind of thing. It doesn't just stop you from doing what you're doing. You can push through it. And with seeing that Viper wall, you've got to try and expect, say, hey, are we going to see something from this? Are we going to stop them and slow them down with this Viper wall? And it's just been working in their favor, because Keiser just sees the Viper wall and they just go ahead and immediately back out.
So the Viper's Pit invested on C site for Ball State from TN. That's going to completely lock down that site. There's the Raze ult coming out from Solo. Tenjman uses both of his satchels to get out with his life. Now Solo has created all of this space. B, Keiser have done it. They have gotten onto B site, and they might just be able to plant the Spike for the first time in what feels like eternity. There it goes. Will Amp be denied this time? He is not, so the Spike is down for Keiser University. Now it's a retake situation here for Ball State. And Grim, trying to peek three people, is going to fall to the Sheriff of Ant. And now Solo is able to get a kill of his own as well. Now 2 people left for Ball State. This is an econ round for Keiser. Winning this would be a huge momentum shift. The fault line's able to find the stun onto Casimir and Tien, the 2 really good friends, playing that Vice, playing that Viper. Tien's able to find one, gets instantly peeked by Ant. Now it's Casimir alone. He's getting flanked by Nino and is not able to find the kill. That's the thrifty from Keiser and the momentum shift they need.
Yeah, absolute shift in momentum is a perfect way to put that one. They were able to shut them down pretty early on into that fight just by getting onto site. They just decided to kind of flip the script on Ball State, say, hey, we're not scared of this Viper wall anymore. They saw the Viper wall go up on B, but push through it anyways, and nobody was there to try and stall them out. They were able to get into B main there, get into that side room of B, and just kind of shut down Ball State from pushing back onto site and retaking it, because Ball State, while having 5 members alive for that retake, was able to kind of take them out of the moment for a bit, but they were able to shut them back down as a few peaks just and some good timing coming up from Keiser shut down Ball State. They were able to keep them from that fight before it even started. And while Ball State had better weapons, they just really didn't have the timing on their side as we go into a little bit of a C push.
Yes, once again, Keiser showing a lot of noise, a lot of how do I say it? Just presence, I should say, C site. We've seen them rotate quickly off of it before. We've seen them just bum rush in sometimes, and let's see what they're going to do here. Once again, Rebo holding onto that operator A site, holding very deep space, making sure that no one of Keiser University is going anywhere. And look at that. Mason uses that jump peak to get that Vice Wall triggered. That is huge utility out from Ball State. So that's going to be that Vice Wall of Casimir completely nullified for this round. And there it is. The fade ult comes out from, that's going to be, Grim, excuse me. And the Omen ult was used by Mason, but then shot out by Fraggleton. So that was an Omen ult solely for the purpose of info. Lethal tries to peek Rebo. Rebo hits that operator shot, is able to connect. There's the Armageddon coming out from that Tejo, and Casimir now is able to find one. Grim's able to find a second as well. The spike is now down on the C site. Nino picks it up. He knows Casimir's here. Doesn't matter. Casimir finds the one tap with the Phantom. They see Mason. They have to peek him together. They do. That's another Ball State round win. We're going 9-3 into the second half, and nice shot, says Tien. I don't know who that was about, but somebody had a really nice shot on Tien, I presume.
Yeah, look out for that curse, though. 9-3.
Uh-oh.
A scary number to be on, especially as we flip sides here, because Ball State, while being very good on defense, it has been a while
Was that
since...
a riot gun, buddy? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the two people in this game have a riot gun, buddy.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's one from each team, I think. I'm not sure who it is on our team, but I know somebody from theirs has it and somebody from ours has it, too. But I kind of like, I'm kind of nervous for Ball State here because it has been a while since I've seen them on offense. So I'm not sure how they've switched some things around, especially with an interesting comp here as we go into Lotus. So going to shift some things around. They seem to have similar comps to Keiser, but just a little bit different with that fade and the Viper switching things around. Instead of having that breach to initiate, and a quick shot from Nino already puts Ball State in a bad situation as they go ahead and decide to try and 3-split here, take on the C site as the Viper just holds down this A main site here.
Yeah, and that wall, what it does is it allows Ball State, if they're hitting an A site, good headshot onto Mason through the rocks, puts him to low health, but Solo, Tien does not expect him there. Solo will find the one-tap, though. Rebo finds a one-tap of his own onto Lethal, and is able to find the trade. It's now Grim and Rebo by themselves, trying to hit this C site. However, Ant is trapped here alone. Nino is on that waterfall side. He's not able to get there in time to find the trade. Now, a 3v2 retake situation for Keiser. They don't expect him to be here. Rebo's able to find two. Can he find the third? No, now 1v1. Grim versus Mason. Grim is on half health. Mason is on low health, but that spike has not been planted yet. 36 seconds still for Grim, so he can take his time, and he is going to take his time. He's going to rotate out of C. Is he going to hit B? Is he going to hit A? I would presume he's going to A site. That is exactly what he is doing. But as soon as you tap that spike, you have a 4-second plant timer, and it makes a noise that Mason will instantly recognize that Grim is planting on A site. There it is. Now you can see... No, he does not hear it, actually. Now he knows that Grim has planted onto A site because he didn't hear anything B, and he didn't hear anything behind him at C. So it is going to be an A site plant. And now Mason... How can he be sneaky about this? How can he use his util to win this fight on low health? He has to place his smokes in the perfect position. He has to check every corner, every nook and cranny. He has to find Grim before Grim finds him. If you don't, if you let Grim get the first shot off, you are most likely going to lose this 1v1. But he has to hurry. That spike is ticking down. Grim spots Mason, misses his shots. He's on 8 health. He taps the spike. Now he's going to lurk up through his smoke, and Grim is able to find the kill. Those 1v1s are so tense. Get my heart pumping. I love those moments. And it is Ball State securing that pistol round of the second half.
Yeah, Ball State was able to secure that round very well, but it was a very close fight near the end there. But I do like what we saw there from Grim. Just decided to say, hey, I'm not going to plant here while I know the Omen is waiting for me to plant. Just don't even risk having the possibility of them rushing towards me while I plant the spike. Just went ahead and wrapped back towards A, which kind of shut them down in terms of the fact that the Omen no longer knew where Fade ended up went, where Grim decided to go. And then Grim just had full sight control to plant for himself and was able to shut down that Omen really quickly. And now Keiser in a little bit of a bad spot as that Raze takes a hefty amount of damage early on in this game.
Yeah, Solo down to 10 health already. Ball State able to find huge health trades early in this round. And Tenjiman's able to find the kill through the wall onto that low health Solo. So that is why having health is so important, because you can't just get one shot through a wall, which is essentially what just happened to him right there. Now Ball State will take that pick and rotate over to C-side, but that's a lot of breach utility coming out from them. And Lethal holding this nasty angle. Tenjiman expects it, finds the kill on Lethal, turns around, 360 no scopes, finds the kill on the Ant. He's on for the ace now. If he gets 2 more, he secures that ace. He's really going to want it in this match against Keiser University. No, Casimir kills Mason, and Tenjiman is going to fall to Nino to that stinger. Casimir now looking for the final kill onto Nino. He does not have to get greedy, but Nino finds a nice shot onto Grim, finds a nice shot into Casimir. This is not over. Tenjiman was just on for ace. Now Nino is on for an ace himself. However, he's at half health. Rebo's at 5 health. Tien is on full HP, but I don't think Nino has time. Ladies and gentlemen, he does not. He is just going to opt to save his Vandal. What looked like could have been a crazy round 1 from Keiser will just be a save for Nino. He gets to keep his Vandal, or a Vandal he stole from Ball State, and they took out 3 weapons, 3 rifles from Ball State. So even though they didn't win the round, it is still a very good save round from them.
Yeah, incredible save round from them. They were able to take 3 guns out of that game, and now they're just kind of working back towards getting that economy in a more manageable position. But right now, Keiser does seem to like they're going to be deciding just to save for last, or what possibly ends up being last if Ball State ends up getting this final round, making it 12-3. Try to work towards getting that to 13. I don't know why there's a lot of squishy toys.
There's so
on this
many
map.
Colts in this map.
Yeah. I don't know what they're worshiping the squishy bear. Listen, I would too. But yeah, they're working towards this possible final round here, and it seems like they're throwing most of their util to get into a main here as they wrap around the corner. One does push the Rays early on. 2 trades do go out, and a third one comes out from Nino onto Rebo. Grimmy getting that final trade, and is traded once again by the Rays. A lot of trades coming out, but that does leave C-Site wide open as all of Keiser is actually in T-spawn, or sorry, I'm so used to CS.
Yeah, okay.
They're sitting in Ball State's spawn right now, and as that spike is going to go down, that's going to leave Ball State in a 2v3 situation, although Omen is very low on health and is possibility of being one-shot by that.
Oh, Rebo misses
no.
both of his outlaw shots. Solo is able to find the kill with the outlaw of his own. That was Casimir missing a shot. Sorry, not Rebo. And Solo is able to finish the job with the one-tap headshot from the Sheriff. So Keiser will win the anti-bonus and bring the round score to 11 forward. We got a little trolling. The fault line comes out from Ant onto his teammate Solo. No harm, no foul. That is, of course, a free utility. So just a little funny little moment between teammates there. But now both teams will be on that full or not.
No, I don't think Ball State's got it.
I don't think, it doesn't look like Keiser has it. I believe Nino doesn't have enough to full buy either.
No,
oh, no, he gets bought by Ants.
Yeah, he can get bought.
Okay, so it is Keiser on the full buy, and Ball State is on that save.
The squishy bear. We keep seeing him popping up.
Oh, my.
But yeah, so Keiser in a good spot now to keep the streak alive. Ball State definitely not out of the woods just yet, but if Keiser decides to just keep rushing down one site and decide to say, hey, we're just going to push this, and there's not much you can do to stop us unless the rest of your team is kind of there and waiting, and they are taking some nice shots there. Casimir finally lands one.
That Nino's not going to have yet. LMFAO WP says Nino to Casimir. Now Tenjiman uses that raise ult and hits himself. He just misses. He actually hits the wall in front of him. Will take a ton of damage from that. Grim also takes a lot of damage as well, but Lethal will find the headshot onto Rebo. Mason finds the kill into Casimir. Now 2v4 for Ball State, but Tenjiman and Grim are both on very low HP. All Keiser have to do is hold out for a little bit longer, maybe find the kills, but they don't need to because there's only 50 seconds left on this clock. Tenjiman knows somebody's there. He doesn't know who or where they are, though. Mason's going to hear all of these footsteps, so he's going to wait for the timing, wait for them to turn around, or no, he's just going to wait. He's just going to hold this angle. He doesn't want to get too greedy. There is no point to when you have the numbers advantage this heavily. But now Grim and Tenjiman, they still want to win this round. They were able to get that spike planted, so the all hope is not lost for Ball State here. Even though they're low health, attacking a site, retaking a site is not easy unless you're lethal and you find the one shot onto Tenjiman. It is now Grim all by himself, just with the Sheriff. And that'll be Lethal going for the defuse. And fault lines where Grim probably is playing. Grim peeks out, gets a nasty shot onto Solo, will instantly fall to Mason, and that is another round 1 for Keiser. Not much Ball State can do there when the numbers fall that early.
Yeah, but those numbers definitely put back into Ball State's advantage there, keeping that eco pretty low for Keiser. They're going to have to buy each other if they want to keep this economy going. And right now, Ball State, all they really need to do is get into a point where they can hold their own economy once again and put Keiser in a spot where if they go into final round, they will be down in terms of their economy. But it seems like Ball State now going to decide to say, hey, we're just going to go ahead and split sites here to take 4 towards A. We're going to put the Vice towards that C site or possibly B just to put down some walls, maybe stop that push if they decide to do so. But that drone is going to come out from Tejo pretty early on, tries to scan, doesn't end up finding anything too much there, and now it's just going to be a quick rotate back around as the majority of Keiser splits the sites as they hold one another and put 3 towards C, and it seems like 2 towards A.
Yeah, Ball State already on a quick A site here, using that Viper wall to scale up all the way to this choke point. There is the fade ult invested from Grim, and the dog as well. He's trying to see if he can find any kills, any stuns with that dog. Does not find too much, though. And Ball State showing a lot of signs of life. A, opting to rotate out, maybe even go for the B hit here. Look at Keiser in their spawn. They're all confused. They don't know what's happening. The Armageddon comes out from Nino. That will find no damage whatsoever as every single player of Ball State was able to avoid it. Now Rebo showing a lot of space here onto 1 health. Dies from Mason. Solo finds a head tap onto Grim. Tenchman though with that flank through A, B. Link is able to find 2 kills of his own. Re-evening the numbers, and TN putting the numbers in Ball State's favor, finding the 1-shot on to, I don't remember who that was, but he finds the 1-shot. Now 3v2 for Ball State. That spike is still not down, though, because that plant got denied by the stun and the nade from Solo. So now they're going to plant this spike onto A site. Keiser hear that. Nino and Ant are running over to try and get this retake, try and win this round. I don't know if they're going to be able to, because we talked about even a 4v2 retake is hard, and it's even harder when the numbers aren't in your favor. Tenchman finds both of them, is able to spot both. That is a huge amount of info that Casimir can now play off of from this off angle. Tenchman looking for the timing. He is going to get it onto Nino, still holding that angle. He does not remember exactly where Ant is, because Ant has shifted locations dramatically. Ant, though, waiting for Tenchman to peek. He does. Then Casimir waits for Ant to peek. He does. Both of them are going to find the kills. TN pulls out his phone, has to doom scroll on TikTok a little bit. Yep. And it will be 12-5 match point now for Ball State.
Yeah, they are put into the final round here, but Ball State, once we go ahead and flip back over to that economy, seems like one member was opting to go for that judge. I'm assuming that will be the Rays, just trying to decide, hey, let's go ahead and get into the site really early on, take this site with full force and aggression. Unlike what Keiser was doing, where they saw the the Viper wall, much like here, they just don't decide to push through it. And it does seem like we are seeing an op from Keiser, so really trying to shut down Ball State early on, and that Omen teleport is possibly going to come out and does get scared away by the
that was Rebo with the judge, because he uses ultimate
teleport
to sneak behind that ultimate. He can go anywhere on the map, and he just TPs directly onto C site, and Ball State have gotten C site completely for free, little utility used whatsoever, and now all they have to do is hold this down, and they win the first map against Keiser. And Lethal has an operator, which is not a good retaking weapon, but Ant is able to find the first kill onto Rebo. All Rebo had was that judge, which is terrible at long ranges, but Grim, Tenchman, and TN all find a kill of their own, so it does not matter about that first pick because Ball State members find kills of their own. Ant is able to find the trade onto Grim to put the numbers back into even, but no. Tenchman is able to find the 1-tap onto Ant, so now it is all up to Nino by himself on 125 HP, only with that Guardian, though. He has to hurry. Casimir and Tenchman have the crossfire on him. Tenchman finishes off the round with a 3K, and I believe he top fragged by like so many kills. I don't quite remember how many he had, but he just been dominating for so much of that game.
Yeah, they were able to put in that work, especially into those later rounds. And even into those, excuse me, I need water too, yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Into those early and later rounds, they were just able to get past that pistol round mishap early on in the game where they were put into a position where they had to Sneaky water take. They were put in a position where they had to go for an early eco, but that eco ended up just securing them so many rounds on attack. They were able to shut them down really, really fast, and I use shut down a lot because that's generally what happened to Keiser in that game. They just weren't able to do too much. They were kind of put in a position where they had to act slowly, and that's what you saw where a lot of those rounds kind of came down to the wire when Keiser was on offense. They were kind of taking those rounds into the like 45, 30-second margins pretty early on. And pretty late into the rounds, they were just kind of like stopping in the tracks because a lot of the util that Ball State has was just slow down util. It wasn't really aggressive util. They didn't have too many flashes. I think the only flash that Ball State had was that Vise flash. And while Keiser did have the breach flash as well, it wasn't really put into a position where it could be used too often because they just never really decided to push site early on and get past that Viper wall where it was in a position where it's just not, all that scary because it was covering 2 sites, but a lot of the times they just weren't, they pushed the sites expecting all 5 members of Ball State to be behind that wall, which was a little interesting to see from my perspective because you kind of need to push past Ball State's defenses if you want a chance to do so, and a lot of times when they did finally push past those Viper walls and those Vise walls and the util from Ball State, they did successfully get the plants down, but a lot of the times they were just kind of stalling themselves and they had to like psych themselves up to push past the point, and I think that was especially the case when we saw that round where there was only 3 members of Keiser still alive, and I think only 4 from Ball State, but they just decided to go for the save anyways.
Yeah, I believe Keiser, especially on attack, played a little bit unsure maybe. I'd like to see a lot more confidence coming from them for this second map, which we just got word is Abyss. Map I love to see, the only map of the game you can actually fall off of. But yeah, if I had one word to wrap up that map, it was confidence, I think. I think Ball State, on their attacking side, they played with a lot more confidence, a lot more conviction, really. They were sure of their plays. They knew it would work, and if it didn't, they had a backup plan. It seemed like Keiser at all times was like, is this the right thing to do? Is that the right thing to do? So I think I just want to see more confidence from them, and I think that can really ramp up their gameplay and win them some more rounds.
Yeah, I do like what I saw, though, from Ball State, especially with how they decided to play the attacking round. They seem to have a lot more confidence in their abilities and their pushes into sight because they were able to take Keiser's defenses and just kind of twist them on their heads, forcing them into positions where they probably weren't confident themselves in retaking the site. And you saw that a lot in their retakes as well, though, that confidence that you were talking about, because they were able to just kind of slowly retake. They were looking through, they were just kind of aiming to look to these smokes, the Omen smokes that went down, sometimes the Viper walls that went down. If the Vice wall was still available, they had that to worry about too. And Ball State was just in a really good position to play defense. And once you get a lot of members onto one site that have the ability to defend, like the Vice, the Viper, the Omen, all 3 of those members of the team were just kind of able to take Keiser's offense and just make it, or take Keiser's defense and turn it into their offense, because once they're on defense and they just kind of pull back from sight and lose control of that site, then they have to play that offense again. And we saw that they didn't have too much confidence going into the game in terms of their offense. And so when you saw their defensive play styles, which turned into be just kind of leaving sight open and backing off when they saw any presence from Ball State, well, you kind of wonder what was the decision making there. Why, if we're not confident in attacking, why would we be, why would we be confident in retaking sight? But it's an interesting playstyle. I think the confidence is a great way to put it. I just think they need to be more confident, and they need to be playing defense a lot more aggressively, I think, because they not need to be scared of Ball State's offense. Because if they get scared and run away from sight, hoping that, say, hey, let's just retake this, then they're going to lose a lot of ground early on, and then Ball State's just going to be able to play defensive sight really well, especially with the comp that they had for that map.
Yeah, I just thought, especially looking back at the highlight reel, it's happened so often where players lurk up through smokes and then are able to find like 1 or 2 kills with it. I feel like it happens so often. Surely people are starting to expect it. Like, guys, we have to be careful when they walk through the smoke. There could be a player lurking here. But as you saw, Solo and Mason just got caught completely off guard by Rebo playing in that smoke. You can kind of see Solo thinking there would be someone in it. You see him turn all the way to the right. But I guess Rebo is just placed at that awkward angle where he didn't expect. So he finds the kill onto Solo. Mason comes running in like, I'm going to help you. Oh, I die as well. And it's just, I don't know, like walking through smokes like that, it happens so often. where players lurk up through, I feel like it shouldn't catch as many people off guard as it does, because it's like, such a common play, I feel.
But yeah, as we go ahead and wait to get into Abyss here, I think what they need to try and do is fight back against Ball State with a different plan of action. I think they need to twist around how they decide to get in. No, it's not Abyss, it's Ascent. Okay.
Bro, lied to me. I'm so sorry, guys. It's Ascent, the next map, just added back into the pool, and we get to see the little metal sheet added that you were talking about, which I'm excited.
But yeah, from the Ball State side, it seems like we've got an interesting play here from them in terms of comp-wise. They've got that Cypher, that Deadlock, excuse me, and then that Tejo. They've got an Astra as well as a Jet, so no Waylay today from Ball State. We might see it turned from, or come out from Keiser University there. But it seems like right now all they've decided to go with is kind of the same thing we saw last game. Switching up their Duelist as well as their Sentinel this time around is possibly what we might see from them. But for now, they've got that Omen, that Tejo, that Breach. We might see a KJ and we might see a Yoru. Both really good agents in their own right, especially on Ascent. I like to play KJ. I haven't personally played Cypher on this map, but we'll have to see what they do because I'm 100% sure that Casimir is better than me.
Can I just say how crazy this is? Last time Ascent was in the map pool, like I believe like a couple acts ago, there was one meta comp, and if you didn't play it, you were trolling. Every single team from VCT to Pro Collegiate was running that was running KO, KJ, Silva, Omen, Jet. Every single team, and if you didn't play that, you were essentially just throwing. Look at this. Riot has made great changes in the meta, great changes in patches to completely push that just. Because I hate just mirror comps. It happens in Overwatch a lot where this one thing is meta. If you don't play it, you're trolling. I love metas that are, you can play so many different comps, so many different combinations of characters. It allows so much more freedom, and the games are so much more interesting. You see the Astra coming out from the side of Ball State. You see the Yoru coming out from Keiser. Just really interesting comps here. And I'm so glad that Riot were able to pull Valorant out of that really dumb Ascent meta and find something interesting like this.
Yeah. But it is going to be interesting seeing Ball State's offense here. I'm expecting a heavy lurk play style from the Cypher just in this game in general. I'm expecting the KG to play more of a bunker down Sentinel. I'm expecting to see them a little bit towards B, but it seems like they're holding mid a little bit with the Tejo and the Yoru there. From the rest of Ball State, it seems like we're seeing a bit of a heavy weighted side towards A there, with the majority sticking towards that side. It seems like Cypher is just going for that util play to try to get as much info as possible. And now out comes
utility.
the
Holy crap. That is just a crazy amount of utility from Tejo and Breach, completely pushing Ball State off, and Mason finds a nasty ghost headshot onto Casimir, putting the numbers in Kaiser's favor already, and we are going to start Ball State on attacking and Keiser on defending. But Ball State, since Keiser showed so much pressure towards that A main side, opted to rotate most of their utility, most of their resources over to B. Besides Rebo, who's hanging out for a little bit, he's able to lurk like that because Astra can place smokes from anywhere on the map to any position. And look at this. Lethal is caught on B site all by himself. Just him and his KJ utility. There is the Nano Swarm. Puts Grim to 4 health. He's able to live and scale up all the way through site. Tenjmin finds the kill onto Lethal. So the numbers are even, but Grim is at 4 HP. Tien is able to close that market door. That's very hard to destroy. A lot of health. Nino finds the kill on Tenjmin with that Molly, I believe it was. And now it's Grim still on the 4 HP. I cannot believe he survived that Nano Swarm, because not only does it damage, it slows. But Tien trying to find the kill onto Mason. He does. He also finds the kill onto Amp before Nino's able to trade him out. Grim on 4 health is able to find one. Rebo finds another. Ball State win the round after it seemed like a lost round. So many of their players were at low health. They were able to scrap back. They stayed alive for just as long as they had to, and they were able to pull the first pistol round of this map out for the win.
Yeah, I think the Tejo just acted a little too slowly there, was so focused on clearing logs that they just weren't able to react in time to clear that deadlock away from short there. Actually, not short. What's the call out for that little tunnel space?
CT?
It's not like it's CT, cause it's the space right outside of B. It's just that little walk.
Market?
It's the walkway.
Oh, that's, yeah, CT. CTB side, yeah.
That is CT? Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, so they were able to get through to CT. And was able to just kind of spent so much time clearing logs that he wasn't focused on who was killing the rest of his team, and that just took their numbers down to an unfortunate position. Now they know the Yoru is back in wine, I think is what that's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the double peek. Grim finds one, Grim finds two, Rebo finds another. I like that swing from all three Keiser players, but Ball State expected it. Casimir just runs through lethal with that Spectre, giving no cares in the world at all. That was just really funny how that worked, and it is now Ant all by himself. He's not much he can do there. He gets pinched. Casimir on that flank. They find the Flawless, able to keep all of their guns into their bonus round. That is a huge, huge Flawless because they don't have to rebuy any of their weapons.
Yeah. Now we're going to go into their buy round here. It is a little bit of a bonus here for Ball State, which is good to see, but I like the plan from Keiser. They stacked up and they took these weird angles, but Ball State was in even weirder angles because you saw one sitting on top of barrels there. You had the Yoru sitting wine while the other ones were poking out through main there, and then they just weren't able to take them out because of the angles that Ball State was holding, and they were kind of prepped for that. They were expecting that they were going to make some kind of a play because they knew the Yoru was back there, and they didn't hear him teleport away. So they knew he was still there, expecting the rest of Keiser to try and help him out, just in case he didn't have a teleport available. And it seems like that was that was the case of what ended up happening that round, and they just weren't able to shut them down. But now they do know that the majority of Ball State is mid here, and they could just collapse on them if they decide to. And if they don't push into sight fast enough here, they are going to get shut down. And one falls, a second one falls from Nino there, one from Lethal. Now the rest of Ball State is going to have to push past the side, but again, they're just being clustered into this little corner here, into this cubby.
Oh,
but
Tien
Ball State is returning.
Tien finds two. This is not over yet. This is crazy. It looked to be a one round from Keiser, but Ball State find three trades of their own. Now it's just a 3v2, but they know where they both are. Tien finds a 3K, the nice headshot before falling to Ant. Now it's a 2v1. They know that Ant is there. They know that he is on that CT side at least, but he's going to try to rotate through market, find a sneakier angle. Tenjimin's clearing it, though. He does spot a pixel of Ant, and he finds the headshot right before that market door closes and is able to secure the bonus round. So now 3-0 start from Ball State. Ascent, I remember at the ESC LAN, was one of their weakest maps. Now they're completely dominating here in the early.
Yeah, and Keiser, their eco not looking too hot right now, going into that Sheriff buy. But what Keiser had in that moment, I don't know if they knew what they had. They had Ball State shut down into a little corner. They basically had them surrounded in a little bit of like a blitzkrieg almost. They were able to shut them down relatively fast if they just decided to push out with that confidence that we were talking about, because they knew where they were, but they just weren't able to do much. An interesting push from Omen there.
Wow, yeah, Tenjimin already fighting the kill on a solo. Casimir finding the kill onto Mason. Early 5v2 start now as Tien finds a headshot onto Nino. This is already essentially a lost round for Keiser unless they can make miracles happen. Wish upon a crazy powerful star. Nino is able to use that drone to spot the members of Ball State. Doesn't matter, Rebo will just run through Lethal. That's the second time that's happened to him today. Poor Killjoy as he just gets absolutely ran down. Casimir is now absolutely trolling the heck out of Ant, who is all the way on the B side. He says, no, I don't want to plant spike. You do it, Grim. Here, I'll even give you the cage for cover as Grim is planting the spike. I think they did that. Oh, because I don't know why. I think Casimir is just having some fun. They know this round is essentially won already. I mean, unless Ant can pull off miracles, which has happened before. And I really hope he can't for the sake of competitiveness. But no, he gets caught at the wrong time. We call that a COD timing. Was trying to clear an angle on the right. Rebo peeks him from the left, and nothing he can do about that.
Yeah, Ball State now moving into round 5 here. Keiser is going to be put in a good situation where they can buy up to try and take this one back. An unfortunate thing for Keiser in this round was a lot of those early picks just came out in unfortunate times for Keiser. They just made some interesting plays on their buy round or on their save round, more or less, just trying to push into Ball State with that confidence that we were talking about. And now the Squishy Bear seems to be having a dinner date with the Kung Fu Rabbit. Yeah,
and I just realized it was actually Grim's Teho droid, not Nino's, that spotted the Killjoy of Lethal. Little bit of error in my commentary, but all good, no harm, no foul. So now Ball State showing are scaling already a lot of space through B here, which is usually where Killjoys play, and Lethal is playing on this B site. So if Ball State opt to push this site, it's going to be very tough, very difficult for them. And there is the droid coming out from Tejo, from Grim, and no, Tenjmin, he actually misses his dash. I think the Nanoswarm just got in the way a little bit. Nino is able to find the kill. Mason's able to find 2 before dying to Casimir. Spike is down. The Armageddon comes out. I believe that, I don't remember from, the Armageddon comes out from one of the teams. The Astro Wall comes out from Rebo. Now a 2v3. Rebo's on a crazy flank here though. I don't believe, no, Nino does expect it. At the last second he turns. Now it's just Casimir by himself. They don't know he's here though, but no. Solo Peaks finds a great shot onto Casimir. Job well done from Keiser, winning that 5th round and finally taking a round in this map.
Yeah, but it was a lot of util from their part to make that round happen. They lost that Tejo ult, which is key in shutting down these hard pushes. Seems like the squirrel is taking the orders there, and there's a
penguin.
A penguin.
Huh.
But yeah, they're trying to hold down the fort as much as they can, and it's taking a lot of util out of them. Because if Ball State decides to play this slow and take these fights more passively, then it seems like Keiser seems to be making mistakes. But when they do these early pushes onto Kaiser's defense, they're not able to do too much when it comes down to it, because the amount of util that's being used from Keiser is kind of stopping a full rush. But if they plan out and bait their util into being used, they won't have that if they go to take the site later into the round. And unfortunately, a quick kill on a Rebo puts Keiser in an advantage, and Ball State is now taken out of it.
Yeah, but the blind comes out from Omen and is going to find some kills, but Mason and Solo find headshots of their own. Now a 2v4, but Grim is on very low health. Grim is able to find the spike plant. So now Keiser have to retake this site, but it's not going to be easy for Ball State as Grim is on 22 health and they have a huge numbers disadvantage. So all Keiser have to do is use the utility well, swing the angles one by one and together. There is the fault line coming out from Keiser. Grim's able to find one, does not find a second. So Keiser will be able to secure that round, bringing the map total now 4-2. So the momentum, we talked about Valorant to get momentum. Now it's swinging in Keiser's favor as they've won these last 2 rounds.
Yeah, Ball State definitely trying to find their momentum, their rhythm right now. I do think that their team is definitely a little bit more defensive sided. They don't have too much to get in. I don't think Ball State actually has a flash on their team. Doesn't look like it. No, they don't. So they definitely seem to be more of a defensive sided team here. They have the Jet to try and get into sites here, and it seems to be what she's been doing, just able to take them down pretty early on. I do know that it has been working in their favor, getting into those sites, and unfortunately we have been seeing a few losses come out from Ball State in these few past rounds, but I know what they've been working towards is trying to get these early picks, and it seems like what might happen is they try to swing around this corner here.
Yeah, the drone comes out from Nino, spots Casimir and probably another player of Ball State, but there is the dash from Tenjmin. The full-on sight hit comes out from Ball State. The Deadlock ult is invested as well. It is able to find Lethal. That will take offline all of Killjoy's utility, which is so good at locking down his site. And not only will it give Ball State the site, it'll give them the numbers advantage and the planted Rebo on a crazy lurk from this Astro is able to find the kill onto Solo as well. So now it is just Ant and Mason by themselves in a 2v4. Ant is able to put Tenjmin on low health before running away. I think they're just going to save their Vandals and their Operator. I just realized Mason has. Their econ is already bad enough. They don't need to make it worse, but Rebo expects it. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebo is looking to find the kill onto Mason. Mason's probably not expecting this. Rebo, oh, get the knife kill. Come on, Rebo, you know you want it. Get the knife kill. No, what are you doing? You don't have to kill him this hard. Oh, at least finish off with a knife kill. That's a little disappointing. Ant is able to find the kill onto Casimir, but now Grim and Rebo might just lock him down. No, Grim falls to Ant. Can Rebo find the trade? He does find the trade. So Rebo with the 3K, although no knife kill, which makes me sad.
Yeah, no knife kill. Wasn't able to take that into a more trolly position, but Ball State was able to get into sight very quick that round and kind of put Keiser in a spot where they had to make a decision and another squid. This thing is all over the map, I swear. These are like, just boop the nose. Boop the nose. Boop. Boop. But yeah, Keiser has been put have been put in these situations where they need to make a quick decision if they want to go ahead and try to take the sites, or if they want to try and be put into these situations where they can back out, kind of like what we just saw from Mason there, if they need to, where they go for the early picks to try and put Ball State in a bad spot, or they could, wow.
Yeah, TN and Tenjmin both get blinded there from that Omen blind, and is able to, but Tenjmin and Casimir finds 2 actually before getting traded out by Mason. So Keiser on their save round, able to find 4 kills. Tenjmin now in 16 health, sorry, trying to find some space mid, is not going to be able to. Lethal finds the kill. I believe Keiser was on a broken by there. I saw some of their players had sheriffs, so winning that round is really, really big for them, as they didn't have many good guns to start out with.
Yeah, I think what they did that round was really smart. They were able to take those fights pretty slowly and just kind of let Ball State come to them, and they were able to shut them down relatively fast without any real hard work. They just held some clean angles and were able to put them in the dirt relatively fast, because if Ball State decides not to take a site quickly, then they have to go against Keiser's defensive very passively, because then they have to know, hey, they could rotate at any moment, they could have these things planned out for us, they could have that KJ turret sitting in the corner for util and information, just kind of being there where they need to be, and that drone in mid is now going to alert all of Keiser where the majority of Ball State is. Now we see, oh, an unfortunate dash.
Yeah, Ant finds 3 actually before getting killed by the stinger of Rebo. Tenjmin dashes all the way past those normal nano swarms into an onslaught of Lethal's KJ turret and Ant, who is able to find 3x from that. Casimir just rushes into the 2v1, trying to spray and pray while moving, is not going to be able to find a kill. Solo finds a shot. It is now Rebo by himself in the 4v1, finds a headshot onto Mason before getting traded out by Lethal, but once again, another round loss from Ball State. They're almost starting to look a little bit sloppy. They're all falling so quickly. I don't, how are you there? LOL, says Mason. I don't know if that was from the previous round with the operator troll, or
because Yoru was sitting in hell, trying to get into. They were just wondering how they were on the site.
How Rebo was already. I gotcha,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Can I say that on stream?
Oh hell yeah!
Is that a call out?
No,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
That's the natural call.
Yeah,
Okay. We're good.
But yeah, we're trying to work towards, keeping the stream clean. You gotta keep that clean. But you see that little wall there get blocked off. At this point in the game, you would have seen a Sova already try to spray through that with an Odin. And I kind of like what we're seeing from Tenjmin here with those knives. Doesn't see them though, unfortunate. That ultimate is now put to complete waste.
As Nino finds another one, as well to Casimir. TN gets the timing onto Solo as he's trying to back out with his knife in hand. Back turn. He's able to find the kill, and now the weapon upgrade to that Vandal. So Ball State on this save round already have a kill and a weapon upgrade. TN looking for a second will not, but Grim finds a kill on Nino with that Sheriff, and Rebo finds a kill as well. This is a great save round already from Ball State. Finding 3 kills is what you want, already good. If they could find the round win, that would be even better. Grim now probably opting to rotate off of B site, go on to A, because Rebo has already cleared it. Mason sitting main or mid with that sniper will fall to Rebo after he misses a shot onto Grim. So now it's a 2v1. Rebo has upgraded to a Vandal, so now the weapons advantage is now equal instead of being heavily in Keiser's favor. Ant, though, with the flank onto Grim, nearly finds the timing. He missed it by just a little bit. Grim, though, knows he's low on time, knows he should not fight the 1v1 with Ant, knows that he just has to get to site, plant the spike. He gets flashed before he's able to get it off. Time is ticking down. 8 seconds now. He's trying to hide by a generator. The ultimate comes out from Ant. He's able to find the kill under Grim. It looks like it's going to be a clutch unless Rebo can get the kill. Now he does not. It's a very, very well-played clutch from Ant, securing that Ball State does not get that thrifty. That was so well played. Using that ult, that Rolling Thunder, one of the best ults in the game, 9 orbs. For the 2v1, it should seem like a throw, but he used it to such good effect that he's able to find that round win. Great stuff from Ant, putting the score 5-5 now, tied up.
Yeah, we see the Breaches do this a ton in these games, where they're put in these situations where they basically need to fight against all of one team, or in this case, only 1 and 2 of Ball State's remaining members. But Breach in any situation can take on an entire team with that ult if it's put in the right spot. And now we see a quick push up through mid here by Jet. And that teleport is putting that Yoru in a bad spot. Doesn't end up finding the kill, but gonna chase it anyways. Finds one onto the Killjoy, and he's going to fall for a quick trade by the Classic.
Yeah, trying to use those smokes to get out. Tien just narrowly avoids shooting that Yoru clone that Mason has placed. And now the Mason uses that Yoru ult 3v3 as Nino finds 2 kills now. Tien's able to find that trade though, so now it's just Tien by himself, but Mason's on low health, and the Neuro Theft was used by Casimir, so he knows where both players are. That spike is not down yet, but Tien uses the ult and it hits! The Tien uses that deadlock ult and hits Ant. That's a free round win for Ball State, and they guarantee at worst the tie going into second half. So, Ant clutches that last round. Tien and Ball State answer with the clutch of their own as that deadlock ult was used to great effect, just like that breach ult was used to great effect in that last round.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, I really need water. That Cypher ult really put to good use there. Gave the Deadlock the info that she needed to take down the rest of Keiser's team there. Using that ult to great use as well. It does ricochet off of walls, bounces around, and was able to find that kill onto the breach late into that round. And now as we go into the next one, I'm just wondering what Ball State is thinking as they switch over to defense. But right now, it's a quick pick onto the Omen.
Yeah, Tenjmin finding 2 headshots onto Solo and to Mason. Ant is there to back up and maybe even Lethal as well. Lethal only has a Sheriff in hand though. You know, this is the last round of the half. You should use all the money that you have, but Lethal had so little money he was only able to buy a Sheriff with his earnings. So now Ball State looking to scale all the way up through this A site. I don't believe they expect Lethal to be true. They don't, as Lethal hits a nice shot with that Sheriff. Tenjmin trying to follow up with the trade, but Ant is able to find the flank. Numbers are now even. No, they're not, because Remo finds a trade onto Ant. The Killjoy ultimate is used from Lethal. That's going to push all the members of Ball State completely off the site, but look at where Casimir is. Casimir, ladies and gentlemen, is on a crazy flank. Does Nino expect it, though? Nino does expect it, but still, Casimir wins that 1v1. Now it's just Lethal by himself. He was able to upgrade to a Vandal. Rebo spots him mid. Ball State still do not have that spike planted yet, but Grim is already on B site looking for the plant. Lethal gets the kill onto Casimir, but Rebo finds the trade, and Ball State will go into second half with a 7-5 lead. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a heavy defensive side of map.
Yeah.
So the fact that Keiser, not only were they not able to tie it, but going into a disadvantage into defense is really, really rough. Or sorry, going into a round disadvantage going into attacking is really rough because this map is so defensive sided.
Yeah. And by the way, it is Rebo who has the Riot gun buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so Ball State is definitely working towards an advantage right now. And as they move into defense here, they do have, I think, in my opinion, a better defensive-sided comp for this map. Just because they didn't really have those flashes to get onto site, but they were able to get onto site relatively easily, even without one. And now as they move to defense, they've got that Astra Smoke, they've got the Tejo, they've got the Deadlock,
the double Sentinel.
The Cypher and the Jet.
Grim finding a kill already onto Lethal with that Molly. Those Tejo Mollies apparently are very, very deadly if used correctly. As now Grim's going to back off this angle. He does not want to get spammed by utility, but no, he's actually going to lurk through the smoke. He might be able to pop out and find a timing. Tenjmin finds a lot of space mid. Grim is able to pop out through that smoke and find a timing. Solo finds the kill onto Tien. Rebo looking for the trade will fall as well. Now with 3v3, Grim is looking for some space. Heaven, the spike is still not been planted by Keiser yet. The drone comes out. It only spots Nino. Tenjmin finds the kill. Grim finds another kill onto Nino. Now it's Solo all by himself, sitting hell. Casimir and Grim are going to try to force him out with utility. They know where he's at. That spike is still not down. Solo will fall, and the round will be won from Ball State, now extending their advantage to a 3-point lead.
Yeah, I like what Casimir has been doing this whole game, kind of switching and flip-flopping between flanking and lurking and just playing with the team as a whole. Because right there, we actually saw the Omen was flipping around, expecting to see that Cypher come through main, because he wasn't expecting to have both of them be up in heaven. And then when they were, he was looking in the wrong spot. And I think we're going to see that right here. He goes, he sees the Cypher, and then he doesn't know where the other one is, flips back around to try and check main, and ends up falling early on. And now as we look at the eco here early in to this next round, we've got what looks to be an Outlaw and as well as a Vandal coming out from Ball State. So they're looking primed and ready to take another round for their for themselves and work towards, you know, winning this game.
Yeah, Tenjman hears a lot of footsteps up through mid. Mason and Solo are going to have this split push here to B site, but it's completely locked down by both Sentinels. Not only is the deadlock there with her wall, but Casimir is also there with all of his Cypher utility and all of his trips. This is going to be an insanely impossible site to hit for Keiser University, but look at that. Mason tries to TP on with his Yoru TP. Casimir expects it, turns around and gets the kill. Tien's able to find two. Great net from him, making him easy headshot, but Lethal finds two of his own. Solo finds another. This is a great save round from Keiser as they already have 3 kills. However, it is now just Solo by himself with the Sheriff. He does not have the spike. That spike is down on the ground just behind him. He's looking for the kill on the Tenjman. Little does he know, Tenjman has already wrapped around to market. Is he going to expect this? Most likely not. Tenjman also, second round Vandal from him. Crazy stuff. He did spot a little bit of Solo. Solo's trying to find the Eagle Peak. Tenjman puts a little bit of bullets into him. Now Rebo has that Outlaw, which will be a one-shot body shot if he can find it. Solo does find the plant, giving Keiser a little bit extra money. That just might be what they need. But now he will fall. That was a hopeless round to win from Solo. 1v2 when you're at a Sheriff versus a Vandal and Outlaw. Nearly impossible to win, but he gave it his all. Getting the spike down, giving 300 extra credits to every member of your team is huge and will put them at a little worse spot for Eco. And Keiser got 3 kills for their Eco.
Yeah, but I think Ball State now also has the money, because that was their that wasn't Ball State's bonus. So
that was not, no.
Yes. This is the bonus now.
Yes.
But
so
they
be a
were
weaker bonus.
Yeah, they were able to take down 3 members of Ball State's team, which is going to hurt their economy just a little bit. But I did like what we saw that round from Keiser. They did try and push past Ball State's utility, because they were finally just deciding to say, hey, we're not going to get scared by this util. We're going to go ahead and push past it anyways. And while the Cypher trips and the deadlock wall were there, they just went ahead and said, you know what, we're just going to go past this anyways. We're going to commit to the site we decided to go past, and it's an interesting clone there. Yeah,
Rebo misses a shot with the Outlaw onto the clone. I guess he knew it was a clone, that's why he missed a shot. Oh, he's not one top body shot anymore, but that will put Solo on to 10 health as that Outlaw does 140 to the body. So thankfully, Solo bought full shields instead of just the half shields for that round. And now Ball State's looking to just kind of just, you know, play it out. They don't really know what Keiser's plan is yet. They've made a lot of noise A. They've scaled up a lot of space A, but they don't believe that they're actually going to commit towards this A site. They've faked a lot in the past. They're probably going to fake again. They're actually going to fake. They're walking all the way up catwalk. A ton of utility is spam. Tenjman has to use both of his smokes to get out. If he did not, he would have been completely collapsed on, completely killed. Casimir is able to find the first kill of the round onto Lethal. That net comes out from Tien that finds, I believe, 2. They have to hold C, get that net done. Grim is able to find 1. Mason and Nino, though, find 2 of their own, putting the numbers back in a neutral spot. Rebo, though, still has his Outlaw, which is not the greatest weapon for close range fights. Does not matter. Rebo is a GOAT, is able to find the kill onto Nino. Grim is able to find the Sheriff headshot onto Mason, so it is now just Amp by himself, spotted out by that Tejo drone, will fall to Grim, gets the 3K, and that is Ball State winning the bonus round. So they won the pistol, they won the eco, and the bonus. This is not looking good for Keiser.
Yeah, I like what we saw from Rebo there. They actually pushed past through tree, and they made noise in tree, which kind of, it forced Keiser to look in the other direction and away from main, which allowed them both to collapse on them at the same time and say, hey, look over here, which one are you going to look at, which one are you going to pick from? And then it was just kind of a shutdown from that point onwards. And they were able to just upgrade their guns in those rounds pretty early. And so I think we're going to see it right here. It gets Swift over, just shoots, makes noise, forces them to look around. The drone spots him, and then they just both shoot at the same time and shut him down. He was put in a really bad spot, and it was really well planned out from them to try and collapse onto him to end that round relatively early on. And now Ball State only needs 3 more to take this game and take this set.
Yeah, so Keiser have to be very careful. They can't take too many risks here. Nino was able to find the kill on Tenjman, though. I couldn't quite see where that happened. That happened down a catwalk, I believe. So I think Tenjman just got a little bit too greedy, peeked a little bit too far. He peeked into the members of Keiser, and Keiser were able to take advantage of that. Now, Keiser looking for that hit onto B site. They have Mason posted up in market, so they can do that split hit. But Grim uses that drill that probably will spot. It doesn't spot them, but now they know. Ball State knows that someone is market. Tien is in this crazy spot. Spots 1, spots 2, spots 3. He's able to get 2 before falling. Casimir gets 2 of his own, and now it's just Ant by himself. The round is over just like that. Keiser found the opening pick, but sneaky positioning from Tien and Casimir win the Ball State the round. Now 11-5. I mean, this is great Valorant performance from Ball State, as now Keiser, it is full buys from both teams, but Keiser put in a very scary spot here.
Yeah, and if you actually look at the scoreboard when it gets pulled up again, each member of Ball State is killing it this game in their own right. I think it's something like 16, 15, 14, 14, 12.
Crazy.
They've all been doing really well in terms of the numbers game. They've been putting in their own work in their own individual ways, and they've just been coming up with these new plans that have been able to shut down Keiser really well. They're playing together as a team basically flawlessly. They've been playing together with each member in these different situations, that have just been...
Crazy shot from Mason. Remo finds a trade and another spam kill onto Ant. Random headshots. The sarcastic nice shot comes out from Ant. The Omen ult is used to get info. Grim is able to kill Solo before getting traded out from Nino. Tien finds the retrade, putting Lethal all by himself. He knows Casimir's there. Casimir doesn't know that Lethal is there. So now it's Tien versus Lethal. Lethal gets caught with his gun out, though. Tien uses the ult to secure the round once again. Starts doom scrolling on TikTok. Once again, Tien uses that great ult to great effect. Hooray, says Mason, and now match point once again for Ball State. Not only map point, but match point as well. For real?
Aura.
Such a Casimir thing to say, Aura. What the heck?
Definitely, I liked what we saw there, that flick onto the jet there, onto Tenjman, and then just a spray through the smoke from Remo. Yeah, just uncontrolled. They were able to just put Ball State in a position where they almost were able to secure that round pretty early on, but unfortunately, the rest of Ball State's team was still in good spots on those maps, playing towards market there, playing a little bit close to market. I think the other spot is called... Okay.
So that's really funny for some reason. Just Casimir trying to use that op, gets just a scope full of KJ turret. Rebo gets the kill onto Lethal. Lethal does find 2 before dying. Mason finds the trade onto Rebo. Now a 2v4 here for Ball State. Keiser are on a site. Woo! Keiser have B site now. They're going to get that plant. They're going to get that spike planted, I should say. And it is just Tenjman and Grim by themselves coming from this CT side. Nino gets caught unexpectedly. Now a 2v3. This is still winnable for Tenjman and Grim. They're some of the best shooters on our team. The fault line comes out, stuns Grim, sorry. Tenjman falls from Ant. Now it's just Grim by himself in the 1v3. The only utility he has left is that drone, which will most likely get shot down instantly if he tries to use it. So he has to play this methodically and slow. Solo tries to peek off the fault line, but the fault line actually missed. So Grim's just going to run down. Ant, can he find the kill? He does. It is now just Solo Mason, and Mason will fall to Grim. The 3v1. Grim gets the 3K and secures not only the round, not only the map, but the match win for Ball State. Ball State with the clutch beats Keiser University. GG's. But that will be the end of the match. And I have to sit down as they're cutting back to me. But wow, what a play from Grim to end it off. Wow.
Yeah, the just made a little bit too much noise as the Yoru there in the very end was just kind of trying to rotate back around to help the rest of his team, and they were put in a bad spot, but unfortunately made too much noise, let them know where they were, turned around, got the kill, secured the game, secured the round, and secured the set even. Well played from Ball State. They each individually shined in this game, and I love what I saw there from that teamwork. We're going to get a quick replay here. Gets the one. Here's them on the flank. Grimmy securing that 3K. Well played.
Yeah, just great stuff all around from Ball State. What a match to watch. We saw Tenjman absolutely popping off on that first map, and then we just see great plays back and forth from every Ball State member. We even saw the clutch from Ant with that rolling thunder breach ult, which I loved seeing. You know, some signs of life from Keiser. You know, they're still in it to win. They still are showing that confidence. In the end, though, however, Ball State was able to find that win. And thank you guys all for tuning in, but that will be it from us. We don't have any interviews, unfortunately, because it is an ECAC and not an ESC where the players are required to come in-house. And Casey is excited. He's pumped up. Yeah. Woo! That's our media lead. I believe you could hear a scream on our mics because our mics are pretty good. They pick up a lot. Yeah. But
if you didn't hear him, he went, woo!
that's a perfect impression.
Yeah.
Look at that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to stop in tomorrow for League of Legends versus NEU, a huge rivalry matchup between two ESC Titans. But that will be it from Turner and I tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time. Valorant! Woo!
Valorant, yeah!